Rundown on Bakersfield.com and the CSUB Roadrunners Digital Network. Live from downtown Bakersfield, California, here's the voice of the runners, Corey Costello.
What's up, boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of Roadrunner Rundown, the official program CSUB Roadrunner Athletics. I'm Corey Costello. Thanks so much for joining us on this another beautiful edition of the program. As today was one of those shows where as we kind of get towards the end of the year, it's there's championships going on, so teams are traveling or playing a midweek game somewhere, so you're almost struggling at one point to bring guests on the show, and then boom, everyone wants to show up. That's the kind of show we've got today. A very good show. It's very full, but it's fantastic. We're going to cover a lot of stuff on the program. Coming up in the next segment of the show, we're going to be talking about a new grant that was issued to CSUB Athletics from a women's foundation to help women in sports. And we're going to talk with a couple folks that were pretty important in getting that grant. Karen Langston, our Associate AD for Advancement, will join us, along with Dena Freeman-Patton, who's our Associate AD for Academic Enhancement, going to really be creating the program as well. So we'll speak with them coming up on the program next. We'll talk about this grant that was awarded last week and how it's going to be put to use at CSUB. Also coming up on the show, bottom of the hour, the Western Athletic Conference Track and Field Championships are this week in Orem, Utah. They're at Utah Valley. We'll be speaking with our Director of Track, Marcia Mansur-Wentworth, and joining us in studio will be Michael Lovato. He's an 800-meter runner for CSUB, and Alyssa Page, a senior sprinter. We've had her on the program a couple of times, but Alyssa getting ready to participate in what most likely will be her final event as a Roadrunner. So we'll chat with Alyssa and Michael, along with Marcia, at the bottom of the hour and final segment of the show today. We're going to be joined. He's in town. We've been trying to get him on the show for a while. It just works out that he's in town. He's in Bakersfield. Neal, former two-time NCAA heavyweight champion with the Roadrunners, now, of course, in town for tonight's evening with Neal. But he's going to be joined in studio. Mike Mendoza, head wrestling coach, going to join us as well. We'll just kind of talk about Steven's contributions to the program, a little bit about the event tonight, but more so just kind of talk about wrestling and Steven's life, of course, as a Super Bowl champion as well. You mentioned the NCAA championships first, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, he won multiple Super Bowls with the Patriots. So we'll chat with those guys coming up in the final segment of the show. So as I mentioned, it is absolutely jam-packed and full, so we're excited about that. But we had a very good, speaking of action-packed, we had a wonderful weekend of CSUB baseball. It was all culminating in Sunday's ball game. Let's head out to Hartfield right now, as Sunday it was senior day, and the tradition is all the moms of the seniors throughout the first pitch. 10 moms, what could go wrong? A couple short hops there, not bad though by the moms on senior day. Also, not bad for 10 people at one time. And look, there's Rudy Salas as well in the house, showing off his arm. He even popped the glove. You can't hear the sound, but he popped the glove. So nicely done by Rudy Salas there as part of the first pitch festivities on Sunday. Speaking of pitching, Nick Rogowski making his final home start for the Runners in a series where hitting was king. He records 5 strikeouts, including this one to get out of a jam. He went 8 2/3 for CSUB through a record 155 pitches. A lot of extra base hits in the series. How about Ryan Grosjean in the second inning? Off the top of the wall, like the very, very top. It scores a run, but it's a double instead of a home run number 4 for Grosjean. Runners lead 2-1. And then it's Logan Trowbridge. He had a great series. Trowbridge with the pop fly, sac fly, RBI here, I should say, on the sacrifice fly. That scores a run. And again, Bakersfield leads on top. And then once again, it's Trowbridge with the RBI single as he heads to second base on the throw. Runners up 5-4 in this ball game, and Trowbridge is pumped. Can I get some time? Can I get time? No, now? Now we can get time. 6th inning, Jordy Hine, the RBI off the fielder's choice here. Nice play in the hole by Northern Colorado, but it's a run. CSUB up 6-4. More runs, though, for the Bears in the 7th. Brian Tibbetts doubles down the line, scores a run, and then they made it a 1-run game. And then Marco Castilla scores on a Dan Reese single. Here's Tibbetts for the go-ahead run out at home. Great tag by Logan Trowbridge to save the go-ahead run. Carl Iwasaki does not agree. And so much so, his day ended early. He was ejected from the ball game. And then tie game, bottom of the ninth inning after Garrett Nimmo pitched out of a bases-loaded jam, setting up Max Carter. Runner on first. This ball is fair down the line. Look at Bob Macaluso in the third base coach's box. He's got the green light on all the way for Miles Jones. He's going to score standing up. The Runners win it in walk-off fashion, 7-6 on Sunday. They take the series 2-1. Second walk-off in a week. Remember last Tuesday's game at Cal Poly? It happened as well, or home to Cal Poly, I should say, on Tuesday night in the same week. Let's flash back there a little bit, shall we, and see Tuesday night's highlight for the Roadrunners, as it was David Metzger in his situation. 5 infielders, he splits the hole there. He scores the game-winning run on Tuesday night. So what a magical week for CSUB baseball. 2 walk-offs as Jordy Hines scored the game winner, and Bakersfield celebrated on Tuesday. They will follow. There's a side-by-side. There's your Sunday and Tuesday celebrations there for the Runners.
These games were championship type of dogfights. And it's a little bit indicative of what's going to happen in the WAC tournament and beyond if we're able to do that. These are the kinds of games we're going to have. And so to see the guys stay in there like they did and come back and win that series and have all 3 games be like they were is very encouraging to me in terms of the way we battle.
So Bill Kernan happy with the results. The Roadrunners happy as well. They will take the Sunday game 7-6. They had lost Friday's game as we check out that score, and that's kind of how it all got set up. Friday they lose 6-4 in 10 innings to the Bears, and so the Runners were down 1-0 in the series. Came back, though. They evened it up on Saturday with a 7-6 win. That game was won in the bottom of the 8th. Jordy Hine with the RBI single to right to score the eventual game winner, and then Bakersfield getting the win on Sunday as well in walk-off fashion. So the Runners take the series 2-1, and it was important because here's how the WAC standings set up right now. Currently, if the tournament started today, the Roadrunners would be the number 1 seed in the Western Athletic Conference tournament. Grand Canyon, who's ineligible right there, now in first place, but the Roadrunners are at Grand Canyon this week. So the regular season championship still up for grabs in the WAC. The Runners have a great shot. 15-6-1. They've got a half-game lead there on Seattle, a couple games on Sacramento State and North Dakota, and winning that Northern Colorado series was huge because it pushes the Bears down in the standings. That's a good hitting team. So right now, your top 6 in the tournament would be CSUB, Seattle, Sac State, North Dakota, Northern Colorado, and Utah Valley. So that tournament starts in a couple weeks in Mesa, Arizona. As here is the schedule for the Roadrunners. They are at UC Santa Barbara tonight, the first of 2 games with the Gauchos. They are number 6 in the nation, by the way. So the Runners have a tough test at UCSB today, and then they will host the Gauchos next Tuesday. But more importantly, the Roadrunners. The non-conference games are great, but guess what? They need to focus in on these conference games. 6 remaining. I'm telling you, the magic number is 5. If they can find a way to win 5 of 6, they're most likely going to get the number 1 seed and, more importantly, win the regular season championship. So Friday at 6:30, Saturday at 6:30, and Sunday at noon for the Roadrunners. By the way, congratulations to Garrett Nimmo. We talked about him a little bit. Nimmo was absolutely clutch all weekend long for the Roadrunners, all week long. He came in on Tuesday night in the bullpen in relief, down 4-0. Runners come back and won that one on Tuesday 5-4. Nimmo pitches, has 9 strikeouts, gets the win for the Roadrunners. Then Nimmo comes back in the 9th inning on Saturday night with the tying run at third base. He gets a 2-out situation strikeout for the win there, and then he comes in on Sunday and gets the save with 1 out in the 2 outs in the 9th inning for the Runners. So Garrett Nimmo, 2 wins and a save on the week. He was named Western Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week. So congratulations to Garrett Nimmo. On to CSUB softball. They are currently en route as they head to the Western Athletic Conference tournament in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Runners will take on Missouri, Kansas City. That'll be tomorrow. Make that Thursday, I should say. 12:30 Pacific at New Mexico State. First round of the tournament. That is the 3-4 battle right there. The 2-3 battle, I should say, in the WAC. So 2-3 will meet in the conference tournament first for the Runners. 12:30. That game available on the WAC Digital Network. And here's how it does stack up here. The seedings for the tournament. You got New Mexico State at 14-1. By the way, the 1 is the one that was handed to them by the Roadrunners. So it should be a good matchup if CSUB gets a shot again at the Aggies. UMKC at 7-7, Runners at 7-8. Seattle, Utah Valley round out the field. So Seattle and Utah Valley playing each other first. Tomorrow they will play the winner. The winner will play New Mexico State. Bakersfield and Kansas City then play on Thursday. So there is your Western Athletic Conference softball update and the tournament underway. And like I said, you can watch it, or getting underway this week. You can check it out on the WAC Digital Network all week long. So a big week for the Roadrunners. First place on the line for CSUB baseball, Grand Canyon. Softball playing for a conference tournament championship. So we'll have all the highlights and details on next week's show. All right, we're going to step away here and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a really cool, exciting grant opportunity that was given to CSUB Athletics to start a new program for women in sports. And we'll talk with Karen Langston and Dena Freeman-Patton coming up next about that. Stick around. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
This year, Kern Schools is celebrating its 75th anniversary. And one thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. North High opened 1953. West High, 1965. Highland, 1970. Stockdale, 1991. And no matter what school is yours, we all agree, Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all Kern County. Kern Schools, now open to all Kern County residents.
Introducing the Next Gen Home by Lennar. Your family is constantly evolving. The kids move out, the kids move back. Maybe grandma moves in. You need a home that will grow with you and your family. The Next Gen Home by Lennar has a separate private living space with a bathroom, kitchenette, and entrance all its own, but still connected to the rest of the house. It's a home within a home. New models now open in the Central Valley. To learn more, visit a Lennar Welcome Home Center near you or visit lennar.com.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Accardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali, Bonds, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Accardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. Still to come on the program, we're going to talk Western Athletic Conference Track and Field Championships coming up. Marcia Mansur-Wentworth joins us, along with Michael Lovato and Alyssa Page, competing for championships this week. And also Stephen Neal will join us in the final segment of the program, along with our head wrestling coach, Mike Mendoza. So that got that to look forward to. But want to, first of all, congratulate our next guest, because they just helped CSUB get a grant from the Kern Community Foundation for the, I'm going to get this right, the Women Influencing the Next Generation Through Sports Wings.
Yay.
Yeah. Karen Langston, our Associate AD for Advancement, and Dena Freeman-Patton at the end. She's our Associate AD for Academic Enhancement. Congratulations, by the way. That's a great honor.
Thanks. It's a it's a really cool grant coming from a great organization that's done great work in the community. So the fact that they recognized us is a pretty big deal, and we're really excited to get a new program off the ground that will be instrumental in helping our female student athletes.
Yeah, this goes through the Lifeskills program, which has been developing over the last few years. What's kind of and Karen, you can kind of talk about this a little bit, the purpose of the grant and sort of what kind of need was established to sort of get this rolling?
Well, the criteria for the grant and the Kern Community Foundation Women's and Girls Fund is really about helping women in our county, and it's a pretty broad criteria, I guess I should say. And but the most important thing to them is that it helps a large number of women, and that it's a program that could be shared or extended, or reused or passed on. So when we decided to apply for the grant, the foundation was really helpful in guiding us, in helping us to fine-tune our program. We had ideas for what this program might look like, but going through the grant process really helped us to solidify what the ideas behind it are, and to get something really concrete that we plan to launch in the fall.
Absolutely. And I know, Dena, a lot of the life skills stuff kind of goes through your department through academics and advising and things like that. So what, as you and Karen kind of figure out like where to go from here, what kind of program is this grant expected to create?
Well, a lot of the programming will be based on career development and helping our female student athletes to prepare for the next step after they leave CSUB. So it'll include workshops that we have throughout the year. We currently already do some workshops for our seniors and for our student athletes, but these workshops will be specifically geared towards women, and will include our community members, some of our female supporters, men and women as well, will be assisting these young ladies in moving to the next level. So we'll include things such as a networking event, how to interview, how to dress on that interview, just different things that they need to be aware of in trying to get that job or trying to move to the next level. So we'll run that portion of the program through the Life Skills program that we currently have for our student athletes.
Nice. And maybe, and you guys can both sort of speak to this, the opportunities and the kind of changing landscape of for women in both college athletics and maybe just athletics in general. I mean, where have you kind of seen it come from, and where do you maybe see it going with programs like this being established?
Well, I don't know about change in the athletics portion. I think that that's testament to how important women are to the business community is, some of the incredibly successful women who are part of the Kern Community Foundation's vision committee, and all the people who are involved in the grant making. There's some really successful women in that group who have accomplished a lot, and I think, from my seat as a former student athlete many years ago, there weren't really programs for someone like me to come out of college after competing and connect those dots, to meet women who are doing really amazing things in their communities, and have that opportunity for mentorship, and to have contact with these really successful women. And we hope that in this case they'll also be able to pass it on. That's part of the program, is to not only receive mentoring, but also to learn how to become mentors and good community members as well. So I think that's just an important part. It gives them a little bit of a leg up after their competition's over. Like I said, I don't know what's necessarily changing in the landscape of college athletics. I think it's still a great experience. Mm-hmm. But then it's in this case, we hope that this will fast track them into the work environment and into community roles that are substantial.
Do you see maybe more people taking advantage of this program that are looking to get into athletics specifically, or just, like you said, any kind of professional development and just getting their careers started?
I think it's any type of profession. I think we're looking in the general format. Obviously, I enjoy encouraging women to get involved in college athletics because there is definitely a need, and sometimes they don't see that as an opportunity for them not being a player or a coach.
Right.
They don't see the other opportunities around college athletics or athletics in general and careers that they can use in that field. So I always try to promote that, but this is more of getting our young women out into the community, connecting them to the community so that they have the network, they have the skills needed to do whatever they want to do, whether it's in athletics or not.
And what would be the sort of this you can both kind of create one here. What would be your ideal sort of result or the ideal candidate that would come out of a program like this?
I mean, I think that if we can create something that has some longevity, and when you start to see the results, that mean that some of the kids that are mentored at the junior high level become student athletes at CSUB, and they remember working through this program. And those who are in our program, when we see them, out in the community and working for organizations, whether it's the chamber or advancing in their field or becoming a lead committee member for the Kern Community Foundation. So just that really, sort of, I don't want to say, pay it forward results. I guess to me, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we hope that this program will reach further than just our community. I mean, the goal is it's not something common right now that's going on across college athletics. And not very many universities have programs like this. And so we hope that we can show the success from this program and hope that other schools will take note and try to implement similar things on their campuses. And as Karen said, we hope that our student athletes will impact the young women in this community. And it's not just about them, it's about them also giving back and mentoring young women and young females in high school and junior high that we hope that we can start it earlier and earlier, start the mentoring process.
How much has that already, because I think this year was, the last couple years, just because of the success, a lot of our female sports and student athletes, how much has that kind of maybe helped get to this situation where we get a grant like this? The great stories with volleyball and Tina Outland and women's basketball and her team and what they help in the community, and women's swimming and a lot of this women's swim team being involved. Has that stuff sort of helped lay the groundwork?
I think it does help to some degree just in general awareness, and I think that CSUB Athletics has a pretty strong level of awareness in our community, and at least I hope so, and I know we want to continue to grow that, but I also think that like Dena was talking about, the transferability of this program is pretty unique. So I think you could take this program and scoop it up and put it in a college in Kansas or really anywhere in the country, and it would then it has the potential to be successful.
So you guys get a chance to kind of, like you said, there's not many schools doing this yet, so you get to kind of be the sort of testing grounds and the proving grounds for something like this. So you up for that challenge?
We're always up for that challenge. I definitely think that it helps to have a strong group of women in our athletic department that, we've kind of come from that aspect where there were not very many female mentors for us to look up to. We had some great mentors, but not all of them were female. Mm-hmm. And it helps our current student athletes, female student athletes, to have someone even within our department to look to and see, and so trust us in that we're going to lead to other women that can impact them in their career. And sometimes it's a comfort level thing for our student athletes. They get in their own environment, in their own circle, and it's hard to get out. And so hopefully this program will help them to get out of themselves and explore the community a lot more, get them involved in the community, and realize there are folks out there that want to help them and want to see them grow and may have an opportunity for a job later.
And you had the life skills really kind of, it's been going on a little bit the last couple of years, but really this year with a coordinator kind of stepped up a notch. You had a lot of different series, backpacks, the briefcases, and guest speakers and things like that, networking events. So how did those things sort of, how's that program continually being evolved as a whole as life skills continues to work at CSUB?
Well, we started with some things, like you said, the backpacks, the briefcases, which is more of a transition. It's for our seniors. It's a transitional program where it started with a networking event, ended with our senior night, our senior luncheon for our graduates. But the program as a whole, we hope that it will be a kind of stair-step process to where there are things that a freshman should do to prepare to move forward. There are things that a sophomore, a junior, or senior should be doing, and we're working to put together an encompassing program that's kind of step-by-step checklist. These are the things we need to get done, and these are the things you need to prepare for your next stage in life after CSUB.
Nice. Well, once again, congratulations, ladies. This is great news, and again, more something to work on in the summer.
just what we need.
Just what you need. No break. Yeah, just a little extra work before you get everything ready. Once again, congratulations, though, and looking forward to see where this program goes.
All right, thank you.
All right, Karen Langston and Dena Freeman-Patton here on Roadrunner Rundown. When we come back, we're going to be talking track championships, WAC Track Championships with Marcia Mansur-Wentworth along with Michael Lovato and Alyssa Page. Coming up next, we'll be back. It's Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all these great rivalries. But despite all these rivalries, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
I am not going to ask him about funguses.
Fungi.
Honey, have you called Gunlocks about fixing that toilet upstairs?
I saw a plumbing episode on the Fix It channel. Yeah, I can fix it.
You could try it yourself, or you could just call Gunlax and save your marriage.
Hey, honey, I think I did it.
Gunlax, 327-3052.
That wasn't so bad.
The Bakersfield Californian is a great read on the iPad, but did you know that the Bakersfield Californian is available on your Kindle Fire? Or how about Google's Nexus 7, the Nook? You bet. You can also read a full replica of the newspaper on your Android-powered smartphone, on Apple's iPhone, or on your laptop. We have a solution for any device. E-Edition is free for subscribers, or just $7.99 a month. The Bakersfield Californian. We're everywhere and anytime. Subscribe today. Bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Accardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali, Bonds, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Accardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund creates educational opportunities for over 300 student athletes at CSUB. By becoming a member and donating to the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund, you're not only helping the Roadrunners fund the scholarship needs of our teams, you're investing in the future. The Roadrunner Scholarship Fund isn't just developing student athletes, we're developing tomorrow's leaders from lessons learned during competition. For more information, log on to gorunners.com/donate and become a member of the Roadrunner Scholarship Fund.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. Thanks to Karen Langston and Dena Freeman-Patton for joining us in the last segment of the program, talking about their the Wings grant that they just received for a new life skills program at CSUB to encourage women through sports. So we'll be watching that and seeing where that kind of develops and continues to build the ever-growing life skills program here at CSUB Athletics. As I want to welcome to the program now, they're getting ready for the WAC Championships next week. I think I said this week earlier because I'm just flighty like that, but I meant to say next week in Utah. And now we got Michael Lovato joining us, 800 meters, and Marcia Mansur-Wentworth in the middle, our director of track, and Alyssa Page at the end, senior sprinter for the Roadrunners. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
How's the end of the season? I mean, this is that kind of time of year where you're sort of winding down but yet gearing up. So what's the preparation like this time of year for the championships next week?
Right now, we've mainly just been slowing it down, doing more speed, but letting our bodies recover, icing up a little bit, just making sure we're fully rested for coming up next week.
And I know, Marcia, we've seen a lot of improvement throughout the year. I mean, from this team, it's getting better and better. Everybody's getting stronger and stronger. Are you happy with the progress right now at this time of year to where a lot of the league's athletes have gotten to?
Most everybody is, I would say, probably in the best shape of their lives. We have some people that have done some fantastic things. We have more people on the depth chart than we've ever had. We're going into the championship with many more people ranked in the top 8 than we did last year. Last year it was, 3 throwers, and we were able to get Richie Maestri into the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in the women's, Ariana Mariscal was all conference, and Alyssa Page was those were our only 2 women finalists, and this year we're looking for many more finalists and several more athletes on the podium, and that's how we're going to measure our success. We're lining people up in events that we haven't been able to previously be competitive, like the men's 800 with Michael, the women's shot put with Alicia Torres, the steeplechase this year with Megan Thompson, and another on the women's side, Marina Emhoff, a redshirt sophomores, should be able to make finals. We have 2 people in the multi-events with Trisha Cervantes and Alec Benavides. Trisha's a JUCO transfer. She was all conference indoors in the pentathlon, and she looks to move up a step in the heptathlon outdoors. Alec Benavides is a freshman from Stockdale High School taking up the decathlon for the first time, which is a huge challenge for a freshman. But he's probably one of the most talented young men that we've had come through the program. And Richie is running phenomenal in the in both hurdles this year. So we're heading in a better position to put some more people on the podium, and that's the best way we can judge our program.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was going to bring it up. I mean, it's not you don't have all the physical bodies to put enough people in enough events to get enough points to be a team, a team champion. Not to say that you're individually not competing. You're going to be there, but obviously the team numbers aren't there yet.
We are less than 1/3. We travel with less than 1/3 the roster that the other programs do. So we look for the individual successes.
Sure.
We're traveling with 8 men and 10 women, and you're allowed 32. Yeah. So the people we're bringing are hardworking, dedicated young men and women who are going to serve our team well and represent CSUB with all the pride and dignity we could hope for.
Nice. And Alyssa, you've been around for a few years, your senior year, getting ready for your final events for the most part with the Roadrunners. So what has kind of the you've seen this program sort of build up a little bit to, like as Marcia was pointing out, this really competitive aspect. I mean, give me your thoughts on how far the program's sort of come in the last couple of years.
Definitely. Well, I came in as a freshman, and immediately I was, improving from my high school times, and I PR'd, and then Coach Wentworth came in, and we saw a lot of improvement continuing on. And last year was a great year, and this year it's looking to be even better year. We're doing a lot of different things, a lot of better things. We have a lot of good teamwork going on. So out in the field, that really shows that we're going to make podium this year.
Nice. And again, how's the your event? You're a sprinter, so how are your events kind of gone for you this season?
My events are going well. I'm seeing improvement in the last couple weeks, and mainly I'm really just looking for that the 4x4 relay. We're looking to score on that one, so I'm really just focused on the team.
Nice. And Michael, you came from San Diego Mesa, right?
Yes.
How?
Transfer.
Yeah. How? I mean, what? I always like to ask these people the question, but why CSUB, and what kind of made you look at this program as an option to continue in the future?
Well, at first I looked through the academic side of the school, and I know the school just started the engineering program. They just started going forward with that.
Nice.
And knowing that the team wasn't as very big, I come from like more of a smaller school.
Sure.
So knowing that aspect of it, and knowing that they could use some more middle distance runner, I felt like the school was a perfect fit for me.
Perfect. Great answer, by the way, on the engineering program thing. That's perfect. That's why
we have 3 engineering majors on our team, and and Michael earned a 3.5 in his first term at CSUB,
Nice.
which is great for a transfer student to do so well.
Well, and I want my engineers to have really high GPAs. I don't need
One would
C
hope.
average engineers, all right? Let's just get that out there. I don't need C average engineers. I need guys that are pushing the A average. Let's go with that. But I mean, that's been brought up for years when they didn't have a program. It's like, we need to get so many more kids in the engineering program. So that's very good. I know, Alyssa, you're getting ready to graduate. What was your major again?
Accounting.
Accounting. Yeah, that's right.
Alyssa's graduating with a 3.6 cumulative GPA in
Nice.
accounting. She also works full-time as part of an internship preparing her to take the CPA exam. So she is doing pretty much 3 full-time jobs: student athlete, and accountant.
So in the
It's
future,
amazing.
when I need somebody to count my huge stacks of money that I make in this job,
She's your woman.
I can call you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. But I've been impressed, and this is what I've said about track and Marcia, with the job you've done and I kind of watch, and a lot of this athletes you'll have in the fall, I know, on the women's side as cross country runners, and they'll go through some ups and downs, but then gosh, by the time they go through that and they go through indoor and then they get into the outdoor season, I mean, we're competitive. It's kind of crazy to see the development throughout the year.
Well, we are a much better outdoor team with the limitations we have indoors, not having indoor facilities in California. We just train through it, and we know that outdoors are a better chance to be successful. And for a year-round athlete, and I've had those before, it's nearly impossible to peak 3 times highly successfully, and it's really only your elite of the elite can possibly do it. And so, I work with what we have, and I try to do the best that we can for the student athletes that we have, and have them always end on a high note.
Yeah, for sure. And I know the championship's coming up next week at Utah Valley. I know for throwers, they probably like up at the elevation a little bit because it probably helps them out. But I know you sprinters and those of you.
No, sprinters, it's an advantage to be at altitude.
Oh, okay.
Sprinters and jumpers, yep.
Nice.
And it's not really that high that it really
I was
makes
gonna say,
a
it's
difference.
not that
it's not
that
like
far up.
Colorado Springs, which kicked all our tails when we were there.
Yeah, but I mean, what's it like? I mean, I know you get to train in Bakersfield, where sometimes you can chew on the air, and then you get to go to these other places. I mean, do you feel sometimes when you go other places, you're like, man, I can breathe more, I got more oxygen in my body, I'm faster.
Definitely.
Is it kind of I guess it can almost be an advantage, like a reverse advantage, right?
That's what we try to spin on it in the recruiting.
There you go. And Michael Lovato, Alyssa Page, and Marcia Mansur-Wentworth. Hey, congratulations on what's been a good season so far. Good luck. What are you running in the just the 800 or?
The 800 and the 4x mile relay.
Okay. All right. Nice. And Alyssa, what events do you have?
The 4x1,
Right.
200, and 4x4.
She anchors both of those relays really well for us.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, good luck to you both, and
Thank you.
Marcia, to the entire team. Next week we'll be. I'm glad it was not this week. I was going to be looking for something that wasn't there, so it's next week. So congratulations, safe travels, and we will be following up on that here in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, folks, we're going to talk some wrestling with former NCAA champion and Super Bowl champion Stephen Neal, who's in town for his event tonight to benefit CSUB Wrestling. We'll talk with him and Mike Mendoza in studio when we get back. This is Roadrunner Rundown.
One thing about living in Kern County is all the great schools. And no matter what school you go to, there's still one thing we can all agree on. Kern Schools is the #1 financial institution in all of Kern County.
Take advantage of our auto rates as low as 1.99 APR with no payments up to 90 days.
Kern Schools, the biggest little credit union in town.
Introducing TBC Mobile from the Bakersfield, California. The most complete news, sports, weather, video, opinion, and lifestyle coverage in Bakersfield and Kern County. It's the easiest way to stay up to date on all things local while on the go. Read it on your smartphone or tablet. Download now by searching Bakersfield Californian in the Apple, Google, and Amazon app stores.
Save 50 to 90% with the Bakersfield Californian's Daily Deal featured on Bakersfield.com. A daily deal is offered each weekday on services from local restaurants, dry cleaners, health and beauty services, retail shops, and local activities for the entire family. The daily deal is 100% local. Find these amazing deals only at dailydeal.bakersfield.com.
Support CSUB Roadrunner Athletics at the 43rd Annual Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th at the Accardo Center. Join us for dinner featuring Harris Ranch, New York Steak, and Teriyaki Chicken. And stay for live entertainment featuring Foster Campbell and Friends, along with special guest Truxton Mile. Tickets are $30 in advance and available at Mexicali. Bonds, all lengthwise locations. The 43rd Annual CSUB Athletics Spring Barbecue, Thursday, May 14th from 5:30 to 9 at the Accardo Center.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential. We compete on the field with integrity, on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
In a fertile valley, a growing university with record enrollment and graduates serving the needs of a thriving community, a tradition of athletic excellence. Now a part of the Western Athletic Conference. CSU Bakersfield.
Welcome back to Roadrunner Rundown. As we continue on the program, my thanks to Marcia Mansur-Wentworth and Michael Lovato, Alyssa Page, CSUB Track and Field. They'll be on the road next week at the WAC Championships in Utah Valley, and also Karen Langston and Dena Freeman-Patton from the first segment, and the Wings grant that they just got for CSUB Athletics and CSUB Lifeskills. So congratulations on that one. Welcome to the show now, as he's in town for the evening with Stephen Neal and the Stephen Neal joining us on the program. Steve, good to see you, man. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm happy to be here. Woke up this morning, got to experience Bakersfield in the morning on a nice little bike ride, so bring back some good memories.
And you're telling us out there you almost got a flat tire.
I got a little goat head in the tire. I made it home. Thank goodness. I was a little worried, a little scared.
And Mike Mendoza joins us as well, head wrestling coach. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. And the big event tonight, I mean, it doesn't need that much more promotion because you've done a great job. And Steve, you always bring a nice crowd. But again, this is kind of an annual fundraising event, and kind of just really talk about what your purpose is with this event.
This is actually going to be our last evening with Stephen Neal. We're still going to have events, but it's going to be focused more on the current guys that are competing. So I've stolen the focus for a few years, but it's time to give it back and shift it to the guys who actually matter. And,
come on.
No, I'll still be up here. I'll still be supporting, but I had my time, and my time has come and gone, and I'm just thankful to be able to come up here and enjoy this great community that's given me so much. But it's just a chance for us to get together, raise some money for the wrestling team, because we definitely need it,
And Mike, it's got to be hard for you working with a guy who's so humble that will say, you know what, I'm my time, let's shift the focus. I mean, that's great, I guess, but also you're like, come on, man.
No, that's what makes him great. I mean, he's super humble. I mean, all he's accomplished. Some people, can't stay humble, but he has, and so it makes him special. Probably, really.
Yeah.
And and part of him thinks he's a has-been, but he's the greatest that ever has been at CSUB and a lot of places. So.
Well, here's the crazy part, and so the NFL draft was last week, and there was still stuff on social media, and there was a draft expert who said teams win in the draft based on their undrafted signees. For example, Stephen Neal. I mean, it came up. I mean, you're still talked about just because of your wrestling career, but your transition into football was the NFL. People in the NFL still talk about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why they're living in the past, but hey, I don't really follow the draft. I never was part of the draft. I don't really understand the draft because half the guys don't make the team and a lot of them get hurt.
Yeah.
But I had a great experience in football, and I was just blessed with the opportunity to even get to walk into that facility.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it myself. I had people along the way, and the Lord had a plan for me, and I was just thankful I was ready when the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, and I mean, you had a great sort of story to get there. I mean, some practice squads and things like that, and a few years working at it, and then eventually it all kind of came into place.
It did. Some of the injuries actually helped keep me around the building. So I'm doing rehab, trying to get my shoulders straightened out, and during that process, I'm able to watch film. I'm able to see practice. I'm able to see everything that's going on that you need to do for football, and that helped explain practice tempos, all that kind of stuff to me. Because in wrestling, Mike and I, we get there and we just go as hard as we can.
Yeah.
We just go hard. In football, you can't do that,
Right.
because people get hurt. So learning the tempos and all that kind of stuff was a few-year process for me.
Yeah, and again, it's a great story, and people still tend to talk about it, even though Stephen likes to think people don't, but they do. They still do. You were talking. You got a little workout in yesterday with the team.
I went in there. I waited till they got tired, and I jumped in and just used my size.
What's it like though to have a guy who was a two-time champion to come in your wrestling room and start working out a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Besides just his ability, he also has a way to kind of connect with the guys and just bring in a fresh viewpoint, so he can come in and see things and point things out and talk to guys and just bring up stuff that, they need to hear, but it's good to hear it with just a different tone of voice.
And I know this year, this past year there was a lot of injuries and you had some red shirts and stuff going on. And Mike and I have been talking about this. Like next year's team, it looks really solid. I mean, have you got a chance to kind of look at that a little bit and then see next year's squad and the talent that's out there?
Yeah, there's a lot of talent, a lot of potential, but the time to improve is right now. As we talked about during the football process, for me when I was hurt, I was able to make gains somehow because mentally I was involved mentally. I was thinking, I was trying to figure everything out. And we got some guys that are hurt right now, some guys that are, coming off the red shirt. And it's so important for them to understand, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I got to be thinking. This is the mindset. And that's kind of, I think, the focus this offseason is the intensity, your mindset, trying to be totally prepared. Because we were talking yesterday, if you lost to somebody last year and they're working harder than you, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah.
You got to outwork everyone who beats you. And sometimes you even outwork them, they might still beat you. You have to have a better game plan. So it all goes into that mindset and that intensity, and hopefully that will translate next year, and I'm sure it will.
I saw I was watching the putting together our stuff for our Student Athlete Award show, and I was watching Matt Williams' 197 championship match, and he took a kind of a gamble, got caught, got pinned, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder how much of I thought he's only a redshirt freshman, so how much more driven will a guy like how beneficial is that loss going to be, basically? I mean, and he's a guy that you look forward to the future, could have a really, really bright future.
Yeah, I mean, his mind is on right. You know what I mean? He looks at that match, and I guarantee you he's thought about it and molded over, and that loss, he'll bring something good out of it. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. He's got the right mindset. He doesn't take that loss and blame anything on anybody. He looks at what he could have done and what he needs to do. That loss will make him better.
Yeah, and in your retirement here, what do you still follow college wrestling quite a bit? I mean,
yeah, I do. I go to the NCAA's, and fortunately, we get the Big Ten network, the Pac-12 network. Get to watch Bakersfield. Mm-hmm. I think it even pops up on some Fox Sport things. The Big 12, the Big 2 or 3, whoever may are left. But yeah, it's really entertaining. I've got to go to Vegas. I didn't get to go last year, but I usually go to the Vegas tournament. And, man, I love college wrestling. I just love seeing guys compete at the highest level. And it's the difference between winning and losing can be so small, and that's why you have that intensity, you have the right mindset, and you can beat some guys. And we've done it in the past, and we're going to do it in the future.
It seems like wrestling is one of the sports that there doesn't need to be a lot of every sport, it seems like they always want to mess with it and go, we need to create more scoring in basketball. We need to create more defense. We need to create more offense, less defense. And usually wrestling doesn't get messed with too much. But I know there's some off-season changes that some of the coaches were talking about, right? And I read through it, and I couldn't quite make heads or tails of it. Can you explain some of them off the top of your head?
Well, I'll tell you one experimental rule, which is interesting, is a 3-point takedown.
Okay.
Which is different, because right now it's 2-point takedown. So you get 2-point takedown, guy can get an escape. You could take him down again, and he can get an escape, and the score is 4-2, and then he can take you down, the score is tied. So you take him down twice, and he takes you down once, and the score is tied. So I'm not, I kind of like it for that sense that, you would think that a guy is winning if you took a guy down twice, you took it down once.
Right.
But that's one rule change, and that's only experimental. So it's just going to be in the preseason tournament at the All-Star Classic, which is where they pair the top 2 guys in the country against each other. They're also looking at having like a push-out rule, which is similar to what the Olympics has. Like right now, if you push a guy out of bounds, it's 1 point, or if he ends up out of bounds, it's 1 point.
Okay.
So it's not like it's not like a sumo match like you would think, like guys just pushing each other out.
I see the heavyweight match is getting real interesting.
A lot of points.
It's just more along the lines of if a guy's out, close to the edge, out of bounds, like he's more aware that he needs to stay in the center of the mat. So it kind of keeps the action going, so you don't just go out of bounds and use the out of bounds as kind of a safety net.
Sure.
So that's one rule change that they're going to make, where if you guys go out of bounds, it's either going to be a stalling call, pushing out, which or a 1 point.
Okay.
So
yeah, and was there something else about stalling as well that they were adding in there, or I don't know, I was reading something on that.
Off the top, I don't remember the details.
But yeah, it just seems like there's a couple. For some reason, all of a sudden in every sport now, it's like it's gotta be more entertaining.
Yeah.
That seems like that's the focus. I guess maybe television has created that.
Well, yeah, I think that is part of it. People want to put on a good product, and scoring is what creates that. And so you want to try and encourage scoring, because right now you can go into watch some of the best wrestlers, and sometimes they're more worried about winning than they are performing or wrestling their best. And so you'll see it in the NCAA. The best round to watch at the NCAA tournament is the quarterfinals and the semifinals, more so than the finals.
Yeah.
So you could look at a guy like Merriweather, which has been the topic the past couple days, but he's a guy that wants to win. And so he's going to do what he needs to do to win.
Yeah.
And the guy's undefeated. And, he's very skilled in what he does. But, people also want to be entertained.
Right.
And so, there's a give and take there.
There's definitely a balance. Where's the sport, I guess, sort of, how much has it changed since you guys were on the mat and now, on the outside looking in? I mean, has it changed that much, or is it fairly the same, they're the same deal?
It's pretty much the same. There's a couple little tweaks here and there as far as if you go down the ankle, they'll hit you for stalling after 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Yeah.
But there's not too many changes. It's still go out there and beat the guy up and then raise your hand, So, but yeah, is there anything?
I think it's probably easier for him. I mean, to see, because as somebody from the outside looking, because he goes and he's watching and he pays attention and opposed to coaching, because if it has changed, I've kind of seen the change gradually every year, but I don't think there's too much of a change.
Well, Stephen, with your obviously wrestling for Coach Kerr, and now as Mike in charge of the program, give me your thoughts as an alum on the job he's done.
I think he's doing a fabulous job. The cards he was dealt are tough. I mean, he comes in here, the program's on the rocks, so to speak. We have to raise this money. So he's not only had to coach, but he's had to be a fundraiser. He's had to do so much more than just coach.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to recruit kids and they go to a different school, and then that coach says, well, are you sure Bakersfield's going to have a program?
Right.
That's tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
And last couple of years, we've been fortunate. We've had some administrators tell us, you can tell the kids it's going to be there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because that's the one issue when you're recruiting. It's so hard to tell a kid, if you don't know, we're going to have a program for 5 years. You never want to lie to a recruit,
right.
At least we don't. And so we're glad the administration has given us that opportunity to say, we'll have a program for your entire career.
Yeah.
And so now I think we're going to be able to start building more and more recruiting. And I think the future's looking good. So I think Mike's doing a great job.
Well, and the reason I bring it up is because we know, I mean, how much, and we've talked about before, how much of his job is actually coaching. It's not really that much. A lot of it's fundraising, but he's just so calm about it. Like I got to handle it. He's just, look at him. He just, I got it. I got it. Don't worry, guys. I got it. I mean, it really has been impressive to see from the outside. So great job.
No, I'm sort of just surrounded by great people. You know, I mean, this community has been so generous and so great, and the people that have lent their hand in this and put all the time and energy, they're very committed and good people. And you know, somebody like Steve, you know, he's been great at what he does because he's been very committed to everything he does. We have people that are just committed, want to get the job done. So, you know, my confidence comes from the people that are involved with the program.
Yeah, it's been great to see you have some great supporters. So good luck at your event tonight. And we'll definitely stay in touch and get you back on next time you're in town.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Steve and Neal, Mike Mendoza here on Roadrunner Rundown. We got to get out of here, folks. Don't forget to get the show anytime online at GoRunners.com. You can also check us out on Facebook, Facebook.com/CSUB Roadrunners, on Twitter and Instagram at CSUB Athletics. We'll be back next week. We're going to talk some rowdies next week. We're going to have some recap of baseball as we get close to the conference championship tournament as well. So that's be next week. Join us next time. This has been Roadrunner Rundown.